The next on our agenda is a discussion by a man that really needs no introduction. His name is Ed Bullock, and he's here to speak to us about the library. Mr. Bullock, the floor is yours.
Thanks for having me. Before I talk about the library, I'd like to also mention something about Ray Pat, because we're going to have Old Town Festival this weekend, and as you know, we have the hot dog eating contest. And Ray, how many years did you win the hot dog eating?
2 years in a row.
So Ray holds the distinction also of being the world champion hot dog eater for the Old Town Festival. And we hope to see him again Saturday. I know he'll be there, challenging everyone else again. So he's a man about town, has more words than you actually knew about.
Yes, sir. Ray, if you win, we'll bring you back.
So I'm here as the library President Board of Library Trustees. And on a positive note, I'd like to mention, for those of you who don't know it, that our children's programs at the library are packed. They are very, very popular. I want everyone to know that, and that's because of Christina, okay, who won the award tonight. She's a shining star. She's the gem of the Phillipsburg Library. She deserves all the credit in the world because she's professional, she's excellent with people, she has a great personality. Only 2 people in the state got this award, and when you think of all the libraries and the size of some of those libraries and how well some of those libraries are known compared to little old Phillipsburg, I think Christina does one. She does the best job as far as I'm concerned. So it's Christina, on behalf of the board, I will never let you go unnoticed by us and the rest of the town. Thank you very much. So I'm here to talk about the library roof. As you know, we've had massive leaks at the library. It's been a very big disruption. We've had property destroyed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that the plan was to replace with a new roof half of the library and to repair the other half of the library. Is that correct? Instead of replacing the entire roof at one time.
Originally, I had thought that we were replacing the whole thing. Now, I'd ask the panel to correct me if I'm wrong.
I thought we were doing it in 2 parts though. Yeah, it's a full replacement, but it's in a part A, part B.
And part B is next year, is that correct? That's not correct. When's part B being done?
Should be this year.
The part A is already being done, right?
Okay.
It's been working, it's done.
I have to refer to our director about that.
Yes, please.
Deb, do you know, what's our...
My understanding is that Part A was moved to this year, and then Part B is being moved to the following year. That's not the case.
No one told us that.
That was
Okay,
their-
well, okay. So we've had, we had massive leaks. It was tremendous. I'm here to get clarification on this so that we know you're going to replace the entire roof. We're not going to have a patchwork here because a few weeks ago when we had that big leak, there was a question of the workmanship of that. Now you've received another bid for like $158,000 for more work. And, I mean, we have big concerns that if it's not done properly, you're going to have more leaks, it's going to be more costly, and that it won't be done quickly enough to mend all this up. So, do you know the time frame of all this?
It was my understanding the last time that we had spoke was that they were doing it now, currently. I had stopped by to see Miss Messling, I believe it was a week ago, just to check on the status, and she had updated me, and then we had asked if you would come in to speak with us. My father was a commercial roofer, and I can tell you by just experience in watching him, that type of flat roof should all be done in one shot. It shouldn't have been broken up.
Right, right.
I don't know currently where we're at. That's something I would have to ask the administration. Yeah. Unless someone here from the panel can help me or assist me. I have had no communication with the mayor regarding this issue.
I mean, that's my feeling, is that we don't really know what's going on. And I've been on this board a long time. We actually were talking about this before you were all voted into office. That's disappointing because we need that roof. It's maintenance. For it to take that long and then to see where we are now with the massive leaking. I mean, we had people there pushing the ceiling tiles with brooms, and it was coming down like it was a cascade of water coming down. So it makes us feel unconfident that this isn't going to be done and taken care of now and continuously, and that we're not going to have more problems. So does anybody really know what, and I don't even know who the responsible people are to be moving along with this project, but I'm here on behalf of the board to get clarification and to find out what kind of time frame we're looking at, if anyone is managing this, like we don't know how it's being managed.
Nor do we.
Okay,
So the only thing I can do, if it's okay, I can try and contact the mayor real quick to see if he'll provide us with an update, if that's okay.
we had bids for the library roof before you were in office.
Yes, sir. No, I'm aware of that.
Okay, and if the roof on any of your buildings needed to be replaced, it would not happen this way. It wouldn't, I know in our own particular situations, we've all discussed it on the board, we would never handle it this way.
Right. So just so you understand, there is the difference with our
And
municipal.
I'm not blaming you,
Oh, I
I'm
understand.
asking for clarification.
Well, let me see if I can,
Well,
Vicky?
I know that we did,
Mayor Phillipsburg.
I'll leave you a message.
I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Mayor, it's Bobby Holbert. I'm calling you from the meeting because Mr. Bullock had a question with regard to the library. If it's possible, feel free to give me a call back, 908-329-7988. Thank you. That's all I can do was try and reach you.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, last fall when we went out, we did a resolution to award $400-some thousand to
remember.
the roof. Because of the weather, it was postponed until this part. It wasn't a replacement, it was a repair. Because that was the,
$400,000 repair.
No, it was a replacement.
Yeah, I thought it was a replacement.
No,
That's the way I'm.
it was originally 125,000 and we overrode it when we adopted the budget last year, so that it was a full replacement.
Yeah, full replacement, I mean, my recollection was, it was hundreds of thousands. Going back before you were all here, I know it was, I'm thinking it was more like 600,000, the
Yeah, if I
first
remember,
bid that we
the
received.
original amount that we allocated was not enough. So we used the amount that we allocated for the Part A, and we allocated an additional amount for Part B, but that's from my recollection. Is that correct?
Yeah, the bid came over because of additional things that they
Yeah.
found, and due to the rule of how much you can. It wasn't to split the project in half, it was simply a matter of allocating the funds properly and not delay the project. But,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of, the mayor was at your last library meeting, so I would assume he's updated too, because we've got nothing.
Yeah, he was at the last meeting,
Okay,
okay.
so did he,
Well, then we talked about the damage that we had.
we didn't even know about the damage.
And conversations with the roofer because we knew we were going to get rain. The roofer had made some adjustments. There was discussion that they were not properly done. As a result, the water went under the seam of the new portion. When the water went under the seam of the new portion, we were flooded. I mean, it was massive. It was massive. And if you were me, would you think that we could continue this way? We can't. I mean, we just can't continue this way. We have to have this roof done. I realize within budgetary considerations and within the time frame with the weather and all that, but you're going into the best time of the year to take the bull by the horns. And if we don't take the bull by the horns now, when you go into winter time, you're asking for more trouble. And how much is your insurance company going to tolerate? We made an insurance claim, okay? And I was in the business for 33 years, okay? How much are they going to tolerate if they find out you're not maintaining this roof? You know, what if they say, this is failure to maintain? We're not going to pay for more new shelves, new books. I mean, it'll cost a lot of money for this water damage.
I agree. Counselor.
Can't hear.
Counselor, just to make sure, there's no legal restriction against the allocation of the funds in two separate portions to fund the project in its entirety, am I correct? So even though we passed the ordinances for the capital allocations in two pieces, we could use the entirety of the capital allocation
Yes,
for one project,
appropriate
right?
for that purpose.
Okay, yeah, so I don't see any issue with that. I would definitely recommend if it was an issue with the roofer, we should really consider asking them to cover under their insurance policy if they were supposed to be.
Our company would have to subrogate against them.
Okay.
There was discussion, let the roofer do the dry out and all that, and I said, listen, we need to make an insurance claim and let them subrogate against the roofer, because if it's poor workmanship, because there was a drain that wasn't properly handled, and when we were inundated with water, the drain was plugged up, it made the water back up. Am I correct, Deborah?
Yeah.
That the water backed up from the failure of the drain that was done. We had Kevin Duddy there. We had your plumbing inspector there. They all looked at it. They told us this. I mean, it was, and we have if you saw the roof, and some of you may have or may have not. There's growth on that it's like moss. I mean, it's as bad as it can get. And in my opinion, it's just not being paid attention to. You need to focus on this. This is a major thing. It's a major, it's not a shed outside for your tractors. This is the library roof. And I can't understand why it would take all of this time and type of management to accomplish something that is maintenance.
Who's at fault?
We talked about proactively, we talked about this roof again prior to you all being here so that we could have it done properly and in a time so that we didn't have these problems. Now the problems are just compounding.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bullock.
No, by all means, do what you have to do.
It is.
The letter said it was complete.
So
but
we hold
that's
it.
the case.
Maybe it will.
Let's hold it. It's okay.
Okay. So,
And then the quality of your roofer, I can't answer that. You'd have to ask some of the people who were up there and that type of thing. But I would hope that we're okay there.
So, just in full transparency, this evening, we do have a check on the agenda for approval in the amount of $219,000 instead of $735,000. We would be recommending that be held this evening and not pay the roofing company in hopes that that would light a fire under them to get this job done.
So is that the issue, is getting it done? Now, obviously, if it's pouring down rain, they can't come to work, but are you telling me that they delayed this?
No, I'm
Okay.
not telling you that at all.
Okay.
I can only give you what I do know or what we can do within our power. Unfortunately, I don't know what the status is because, again, unless we've communicated with the administration or they have updated us,
Yeah.
we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But within our power is to withhold the money, and then
Yeah.
perhaps then we would even get a phone call or an email or something saying,
Yeah.
hey, look, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
And then in turn, I can contact you personally. and
Yeah,
say,
I mean,
"This is where we're at."
I would rather you contact our director. She's there every day. She runs the library instead of me. But I represent the board. You can call me. Obviously, I have no problem with that. But I don't know the operational procedures. And when you see what's going on, it becomes even more confusing to us as to who's in charge here. Who's responsible to get this done and make sure that it's done proficiently, effectively,
So, again.
and addressed? I mean, we have questions as to whether it's even being addressed.
That would be the administrative portion. See, the legislative body can only allocate the funds and budget for them appropriately. It would be up to the administration to provide oversight. And unfortunately, I don't know who's in charge of the project or who's providing the oversight.
The administration is,
The mayor.
okay.
Council President,
Yes, sir.
I have to jump in here. Your passion is hitting me hard, and it's amazing, and you're representing yourself and the library, fantastic. I found out today that I have to have a 9:30 meeting on Thursday, the 20th,
Okay.
at the library. I'm meeting someone, a representative from the Office of Homeland Security, which, when they told me that the meeting, they couldn't meet me at my house, but they had to meet me at a place that was neutral, so they said they often go to the Phillipsburg Library. I was very proud of that, being a resident and a council member, that they chose the library as something of that respect and integrity to meet there. So I have a 9:30 meeting there. That's less than 48 hours away. I've often said, and Ms. Messner, you will agree, that I offer myself as a liaison to the library for information up to our freeholder's office and back down for some information earlier that had to be cleared up. And I still like to hold that role, an unofficial role, so let me suggest this for the purpose of this. In the next 48 hours, I will spend every minute I can either going to, calling, emailing, texting the administration up until that time, because I'm going to be in that building at 9:30 on Thursday. And after my meeting, I would hope that if you're both there, one of you is to take me a tour and show me everything on the roof. At that point in time, I'm going to make sure it's my duty to get you information on what's going on. If I don't have information, at that point in time, we'll address it then. But for the sake of your passion and the issues we have here, I'm offering myself to be a liaison to the administration to try to get this done, because I am going to be in the building in less than 48 hours. And I will then hopefully have some answers for you, and then we'll get back and convene with the council president.
Yeah, and the other issue, the other point that I wanted to make is, and I forgot to mention, not even thinking about the mold and mildew issues you can have. Mildew starts in 72 hours, okay? If this isn't handled properly and you have mold in there, do you want that? I mean, do you want another issue to deal with? Which, if you keep having leaks and there's water that you don't see, okay, behind walls or whatever, and you start having mold,
No.
I don't have to say any more than that.
Correct. I can tell you, as a father of 4 children, and the mold being where it is in your library, the last thing we would want to see is mold growth within that facility.
Okay. So, Mr. McVeigh, you're going to report to Miss Messling?
I'll probably be there 9:30. If you need me there before that, after my hours
Yeah,
tomorrow.
okay.
If I have information tomorrow,
Mhm.
I will come and see you before that, hopefully, but I'm going to be there on 9:30 with information, hopefully. And if I do have it sooner, I'll contact you, just have peace of mind after I have a discussion with the council president.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bullock. There's no objection from the panel for Council Vice President McVeigh to be the liaison. Take a minute.
Nope. Just a quick comment. I did contact the administration 2 weeks ago because I was concerned about the mold issue. Actually, I've contacted them twice for an answer. I haven't gotten one back yet because I had an absolute concern that we'd have the same problem all over again to date. So, Councilman McVeigh, if you could follow up on that as well, because I did, Council President, you were copied on it. So I'll send that information to you as well.
Outstanding, thank you.
President,
Yes, sir.
if I can hand this over to Ed.
Yes.
Ed, would you take this? This is you have this, the remarks of the meetings and stuff? You can have it.
Okay, thanks. I'm not familiar with this.
Okay, well, you can have
And
it.
this is from June 7th. Okay, thank you.
We did have a remediation company come in the library.
Do you remember when they last came? The remediation?
They came, it was,
Within the last week?
no, they were there immediately the next day after the
Okay.
second,
Okay.
so.
I just want to make sure that, obviously.
Okay.
We have a $32,000.
I'm sorry to lengthen this. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
No, please.
Well, I just spoke to our director, Deb Messling, and she said that she had a conversation with the roofer, and he said, and again, this is a whole management issue, he's not sure if he's finishing the roof, that he's...
Oh, my God.
Is that correct? That he said to her, am I finishing the roof? I mean, it makes the point exactly.
Mr. Bullock, thank you. I'm trying to refrain